Bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue au podcast de la chaise bleue, le podcast qui s'adresse aux leaders de la transformation des entreprises dans le monde manufacturier. I have the pleasure to be here today in Chicago at the IMTS 2024 with Zach from Poppulo. How are you, Zach?
I'm good. Bonjour.
Very good. Yeah, man. Quick introduction in French, but I'm going to switch in English for the rest. No worry about that. And we're used to do bilingual podcasts. So it's no problem. In Montreal, we're actually a bilingual city there, bilingual country. So most of the people are in both languages. Zach, first thing first, I'd like to get to know a little bit of you, about your background. What makes you come and work for Poppulo before we go deeper in the company itself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a people person, and Poppulo is a communications company. So at our core, we're looking to communicate, and that's what I want to do every day.
Okay.
Wake up, meet new people, talk to new people, and help them solve their problems. So the fit was really natural.
That's neat, and that's what attracted you to this company. Just the company name makes sense. It sounds like people, I guess, in another language, or
You know, we're going to go bilingual here. It's Latin for people.
wow,
Yeah,
perfect.
there you
So so popular Latin for people. Really neat. And first question, what's the value that Populo is bringing to his customer base? What are you guys doing for a living? The mission of the company, maybe.
Yeah, so we want to connect companies and employees together. We primarily serve your mid all the way up to your enterprise organizations.
Okay.
And when you get 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 million people, getting everyone on the same page is really hard. So we've got a multi-channel communication strategy that enables us to reach people on the channel they want to be reached at the time they want to be reached, so that they feel like not only they know their CEO, but they also know their director and everyone in between.
Okay. So it's really to ease the communication, but and can you give us a description about how does it work? What it is actually? It's a software. You guys are selling TVs. Yeah, I'm just kidding. But
No,
you know how does it? Where does it start? Where does it end? And how does it work?
Yeah, so it's a multi-channel solution. So we've
Okay.
got an email tool,
Okay.
and integration with the internet, a Microsoft Teams tool, and then digital signage as well, and then a workplace solution that helps with this whole return to work thing as we finally leave COVID,
Absolutely.
people coming in, hot desking, all that good stuff. So you bring that all together in one single tool. So for the end user, the person that's receiving it, it's a consistent message. And then if I'm a communicator, rather than having to remember 7 passwords, 7 logins, and go to 7 systems, you create once and then you publish everywhere.
And why in a typical day, let's say I'm an employee, I'm an operator of a welding machine or whatever it is, when would I go in that software? Where does it fit in my day-to-day schedule?
Totally. So welder's a great example. I'm a welder. I'm probably checking my email once a week. Maybe I'm checking it
That's
every day, but let's be
As
realistic.
less as possible if
I
I'm the
don't
foreman.
want to touch any of my machines. I want to put on my welding gear
That's it.
and weld.
And
We're
create parts. That's
exactly. I
it.
want to create something new. We're going to reach those people most likely via digital signage. So there'll be signs in the factory floor, and
Okay.
that'll communicate things such as there's cookies in the break room, or God forbid, there's a accident and a fire starts fire. Please
Okay.
evacuate this way, and everything in between. So you reach that individual on the channel they want to be reached at. You then have the more traditional knowledge worker who's sitting behind the desk.
Mhm.
That person might look up at a screen, but that person's in their email every single minute of every single day. And we're going to reach that person on email or Microsoft Teams
Okay.
or a different digital channel.
But the initial message will come from your software and then will be distributed in any channel that the company is actually using.
In the channel that the company wants to use, exactly. So your communicators,
Mhm.
and those will be distributed based on the company's needs, be it a line leader who's getting in and putting things up once a week,
Mhm.
or someone who's in a traditional internal communications role and is writing emails. They'll be the one disseminating.
And do you have any case study in mind that a specific customer you guys may have helped, and what did it change in its daily basis?
Yeah, so a lot of our case studies have NDAs because, as with
I
so
get it.
many
Yeah.
of you guys, we work with companies that are a little private. But the
Sure.
biggest gist of what we're going to try to do is create more synergy and then at the same time eliminate incidents. So making sure that a company like you take a company that makes fighter planes, if they're able to put out 2 more fuselages a week,
Mhm.
that's literally billions of dollars in additional revenue that they're able to pump out. And
Okay.
if we're via our digital signage able to explain where they are in the process, eliminate
Oh.
rework,
Okay.
then they can reach that
Oh wow, this is really neat because I was under the impression that you guys were maybe a little bit more focused on the human resources aspect of communication, but you can go up to the chain of value of the company itself in the production directly.
Totally. Yeah. So, of course, we're going to do human resources, but particularly we're here at IMTS. This is a manufacturing trade
It
show.
is.
For this target audience, it's really on the manufacturing floor, eliminating fix-it requests,
Okay.
things of that nature, doing A/B testing of lines, pitting line one against line two, seeing who can pump out more parts in a day, a week, a month, whatever your metric is.
Doing some sort of a competition
Yeah,
between people, and so
gamifying it so that you make sure everyone's really
that's
engaged
neat.
to the level they want to be engaged to. So again, of course, we're going to enable your traditional communicator to send an email, but here, like we
Hmm.
just talked about, how many people are really checking their email?
Nah,
But they're looking at the TV.
that's it.
Yeah,
And it's easier when everybody's looking at the same TV to know what is our performance today.
exactly. What are our KPIs? Did we hit them
Exactly.
yesterday? Are we on pace to hit them tomorrow?
Okay. So I guess you will need to integrate some information with either an ERP system, an MES system,
Of course.
and all of these stuff. So you guys are used to that?
That is where we were born out of. We're about a 20-year-old company,
Okay.
and we have our own integration middleware, but we want to play with other tools. Sure, we can create our own dashboards.
Sure.
But
It's an ecosystem of different application within the company right these days.
yeah, we just want to, on the digital signage side, visualize the data that's important to the end consumer of that
Okay.
data.
And you go up to, I'm just going on the left side maybe, but are you doing, let's say, sign for McDonald's as well? So you can display me the menu and sign in the subway and stuff like that as well?
Yes.
I knew it.
Yeah. Big.
I know it's not the content of this trade show,
No,
but
but
it's another diversification of your software.
if it's on a screen, we could do it. Be it an indoor screen, an outdoor screen. We work with a number of the airlines. So
Okay.
when you need to figure out, you get off a plane, you're tired, where's my checked bag? We're going to provide that information. And sure, we're providing the layout there, but that's got to integrate with 17 different systems for it to work.
Absolutely. No, these I'm sure are pretty
Yeah.
much a mess to just reconnect the
Yep.
whole thing. What's the biggest roadblock when you go and visit a customer that is maybe a paradigm, something that still exists in customers' head that doesn't make sense anymore in 2024? Is there any concept idea they have that should just fall apart?
One of the big things we deal with is we've always done it this way, so it's
Mhm.
okay. I've talked to probably 25 different folks here who are still using post-it boards to post the incident report from yesterday.
Okay.
And that just, it works because someone does that. That person hates that part of that job.
Sure.
It doesn't scale.
People don't look at it.
People don't look at it because it's boring.
Yep.
Your dopamine receptors are going to hit when you see the bright colors on the screen, as
Sure.
opposed to the printout that hopefully is in color, but the color cartridge is out, so you're printing it out in
Mhm.
black and white today.
So it's not no longer an argument that if it ain't break, don't fix it. We have always been doing that this way, so we don't need to change. I think the cultural the digital culture has to be way more and way more used and implement into the factory itself. So it's a very very good point. And is there, let's say, you go at a customer site,
Sure.
and we would be together walking, and by the customer site we just find out a magic stick, and with this magic stick I give it to you because I'm a nice guy,
Oh, you're
and
very
you can
kind.
do one wish. There is one thing you could change within your company. What would it be?
One thing we could change within our company.
Yeah.
I think we could do a better job explaining how easy it is. It is a little daunting to think of putting up 1,000 screens in a 1 million square foot
Mhm.
manufacturing facility. We're going to help you every step of the way.
It's feasible. It's
It's
not a
feasible. It's not something, unfortunately, it's not going to happen overnight. When you're
sure.
doing that size of deployment,
It's an agile process, and
Yes.
like an IT.
but we've done it before. We've done it literally thousands of times, and we're going to do it again.
That's neat. That's neat. I love it. And you were discussing just the previous question about what are you doing with the TVs and so on. One of the key aspect is the UX, user experience. It has to be,
Mhm.
beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
ideal. Is there anything special with what you guys are doing to create a better UX? If everybody's looking at your screen, it has to be one of the concern to make sure you're top notch for the look and feel of the actual application, or how does it being displayed? How does it work at your company?
Yeah. So there's two sides to that. The companies we're dealing with, as I'm sure your company does, everyone's got their brand standards.
Yep.
We're going to intake those first and
That
make sure,
chart of color, blah
yeah,
blah
we're
blah.
nailing the right colors. Are you rounded off? Are you soft edges?
Sure.
Things of that nature. And then from there, over in Ireland, we have a highly trained design team.
Okay.
And they're going to build out malleable templates so that you can input the data and know that it's going to come out the way you want it, that it's not going to look grainy, that it's going to look up to your company's brand standards, so that you can quickly generate this really pretty stuff with limited effort on your end.
Sure. And are you doing your own integration, or you're the editor and you got other integrator of the solution?
In terms of designing the actual look and feel?
And any other service that are required for the integration? The analysis, maybe some customs programming, as less as possible.
It totally depends. Like we'll plug into a Power BI or a Tableau or something like that, and that's just a pass through.
Okay.
We might have an L bar scrolling on the bottom that's telling you the news or what's going on that day, but we're just putting up what a knowledge worker would look at on their TV or on their regular computer onto our digital screen.
Okay.
Or we'll build everything bespoke if they don't have the tool, or for some reason they do not.
You could do it on your own.
Yes.
But mainly you're the editor and the integrator of the software.
We are the editor and the integrator. We want to, where a customer wants to, enable them to drive it. Alternatively, we do offer the ability for you to subcontract with us and effectively hire a Poppulo employee as your employee, and they'll work a set number of hours a month.
Sure.
And you set them loose, they're going to nail your brand standard, do it every time, and take that burden off of you.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because it's not me. You want to delegate this burden to an outsider. You don't want to change your daily life to integrate.
You do not want me personally building the template. We've got teams for that. I'm going to figure out how to solve it for you, but you don't want me anywhere near what's actually going on the screen.
I fully understand that. You know, you're smiling, you're full of energy, you sound that you're like a people person. And one of the questions I like to ask to this person is, you're sitting by the fire. We're currently in a Canadian shack up north. Hopefully it would be in Aspen, Colorado. For me, I'll be happy as well. You got the logs shack as well. I'm pretty sure down there. I'll have to go shortly. So I think every individual has to feed logs into their internal fire to get this energy burning, so you can go meet people, be interested. And I was curious to ask you, Zach, what is your things? How do you feed logs within your own internal fire to make it work, to be smart today, to speak with people, and so on? What does bring you energy?
Yeah, it's a great question. For me, it's that moment when you're in a conversation and you see someone's eyes flip, and you realize that they're on the same page you are.
I create value to this to this person.
That little smile comes across them, and that's contagious. And that's what I'm chasing after every day.
Ah, that's neat. That's neat. I love it. And the what will be the next step for Poppulo? You know, you've described me. What do you guys do? And is there any plan for next year? What's coming out new? Is there any new features that your customer are asking? Any things you guys have on the sketchboard as we speak?
Yeah, totally. So I'm going to try not to get myself in trouble here. We're, of course, always coming out with new features. The big thing on the horizon is a 2-letter word that I'm sure you're hearing about at every conversation.
AI, I guess.
It is AI. And for us, it's AI in reporting. Okay. So much of this is understanding, are people actually getting what we're putting up? And also from a more kind of black and white standpoint, are the screens showing what they should be showing?
Sure.
And Poppulo is going to nail that every time, but how do I report that up to leadership so that they're confident that the investment they're making is making a difference?
And you don't overflow them with
precisely
information. And
I don't ever want to send someone a 75-page deck, because I think that's an excuse to let them take a nap. If you could give it to them in one dashboard.
Fully understand. And maybe you may want to get back to me on this question, maybe not. It was one of these questions I had with someone in doing AI, and we were just brainstorming around a beer. And, you know, since the AI in these two big letters are a transfunctional tool.
Mhm.
Okay, you can put AI for sales, production, purchasing. You know what I'm saying. Um, how do you guys make sure that, let's say I'm the CEO of the company, the foreman, the director of
Sure.
operation, that I will not use one more AI in my life, and I have one AI in Outlook Copilot, I have one in my CRM, I have one AI for this, and now I can have one AI for, at one point in time, these will be
Yeah,
so
you don't
many
want the tech sprawl.
exactly. How it's being handled or taught in the development or of the product itself?
So I'll start by saying we don't want to make our own AI. We know
Okay,
what we're good at, and we
great,
know what we're
great.
bad at.
Okay,
We are going to run everything off the Microsoft Azure backend. And the
okay,
thought there is, one, responsible. Two, we deal with customers in the manufacturing and the defense and all sorts of industries. These are very careful companies. So our other kind of core competency with AI is that we're not going to use any learning, because
sure.
the last thing these companies want is their data ingested and put into a big model.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's kind of our core. Everything's going to run off the Microsoft Azure backend.
Okay,
And two, we want to make sure we're using AI. This is going to sound a little corny, but for good, not for good for humanity. Of course, you want
yeah.
to do that, but we don't want to use AI to say that we're using AI. We want to use AI.
To create real value, not create marketing for a company. I,
Exactly.
I fully understand. And there is so many questions coming down to it. Let's say a 1 hour conversation with ChatGPT
Yeah.
is consuming, actually, I think it's 500 millimeters of potable water.
Yeah.
It's totally crazy. So we have to be sustainable in the way we're using that as well, and not overuse it and not create value. So
Exactly.
is these are these things discussed within your company when we're investing? It's energy consumption and so on. How do you guys handle these kind of thing about the sustainability of what you're programming or your new tools?
Yeah. So sustainability has been something we've been thinking about the whole time. At our core, we're a communications company. One of our key areas, particularly for here, is digital signage.
Okay.
When you really break it down, that's a digital screen or a TV. Turning a TV on is burning energy.
Yeah.
So we've been thinking about that for 20 years. Real blocking and tackling here. We have program technology within our software that enables it to turn off at set windows. So if you're in a classic office and you're in there from 8 to 5,
Sure.
you can set it up so that TV's off at 6.
Right away.
Yeah.
And can you also integrate it with the domotic system? So let's say the lights shut down, and
We can build that in via our integration
oh,
framework if you
really?
want to.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's neat. I love it.
So that's been something we've been thinking about, and we're going to continue to think about that with AI. Are we
Hmm.
doing this the right way?
To be more and more efficient.
Yeah.
Either with the energy or taking our own decision and so on. And maybe one last question for you, Zach. I, w- I I was actually wondering, within the company, how many employees are you?
We're about 600.
600 employees located where in the States? In Colorado, I
So
guess.
we've
But
got, we're kind of two general headquarters,
okay,
Colorado, and then we've got another large office in Cork, Ireland. We have a small office in Luton, in the
okay.
United Kingdom. But I'm a remote worker. I'm out of the state of Maryland, and we're pretty well distributed, not just around the States, but around the world.
Okay, that was my question actually. Is this product available, to other countries, or you integrate?
Absolutely. I have clients in China, I have clients
Okay,
in America, and I have clients everywhere in between.
so it could be dispatched anywhere, because usually your customer may have one headquarters here, and they may have factory all around the world. So you need to this to release.
Factory or offices or employees if you want to reach them via email. So we'll work. I don't want to say every country, because there are countries we're not going to work
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
but for the most part, we'll work pretty much everywhere.
Okay. Oh, great. So, and last question is, we have a discussion, you and Isaac, about digital transformation, bringing information to being AI, being responsible, the way we use energy and stuff like that. To pursue this discussion we currently have, let's say around the beer after the trade show,
Sure.
who would be the person you would invite with us? It could be anybody in the world. And this person doesn't have to be at the show today. It could be anyone.
I mean, do you want Sam Altman to really go into the AI conversation?
It would be great.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It would be really, really fun to go deep. And what would be the one question you truly would like to ask him?
I mean, you want to know, is this smarter than us?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are we in trouble?
Are we in trouble? Should we be scared about? And what should we do not end up in that situation?
Yeah, we've all seen iRobot.
Absolutely. iRobot, Terminator, that's for sure. That's the classic and so on. So perfect. So if you see him during the show,
I'll come grab you. We'll get a beer and we'll
exactly
talk about it.
Perfect. So thank you very much, Zach.
Thank you.
It was neat to meet you.
Pleasure.
All right. Have a good day. Have a good show. Thank you, people.
Thank you.